Finally, the closing part of this edition of TW Wrestling Talk. Um, this kind of 6 month anniversary edition of TW Wrestling Talk, if you will. Um, want to want to talk about um, which match are you looking more forward to right now for TLC? What the main event with Ryback and CM Punk, or the World Heavyweight Championship match, Big Show and Sheamus? And quite frankly, I think right now I could go either way with that. Um, at this point, right now in time, because Sheamus and Big Show, they've been having a good feud going, and the way Survivor Series ended with the chair and that becoming a theme now in in the past week, the recent weeks on Raw and SmackDown. Um, I can't, I like what they're doing with Big Show and Sheamus. Pretty much everything they're doing, for the most part. Um, they're doing a good job with this feud between them. Um, they're balancing it out with, you know, brutal, heated promos and you know other things like Big Show, just destroying the chair the other night on Raw, and just little things like that. They're balancing it out with bigger things you know that are building up a good chairs match here for tables, ladders, and chairs, and I think it's going to be an interesting match. Um, and and then of course you do have Ryback and CM Punk. Ryback up and coming. Um, it's another match to look forward to, obviously, given that it's going to be the main event. Close the show. They are the way Ryback is you know his mindset going into this match. Around Raw and the WWE right now. I like what they're doing with him. Um, they're having him do some promoing as of late, and that's that's essential. I think, even for him just to play his character, not to do you know anything huge right now. Um, take some baby steps with him in his promoing, and I think they're doing a fine job. He had a decent promo that I think set up the match pretty nicely for him and CM Punk at tables, ladders, and chairs. And I think this is this is a good match here that Ryback doesn't have to win, but a match where he should look better than he ever has. Um, because you got tables, you got ladders, you got chairs. You can, I think the chances are high that Ryback puts CM Punk through a table. Um, they got to have some good oh my god moments here, but with these two, especially Ryback, dishing out punishment on CM Punk. And for that reason, you know, I, I I think for the added dynamic of the tables and ladders and chairs, I think is a bit of a step above the chair match that Big Show and Sheamus will have. Even though Sheamus and Big Show, that's kind of story oriented here. Whereas Ryback and CM Punk, that's main event. That's what you would expect, them to have a tables, ladders, and chairs match, and Ryback kind of set it up nicely there with Vicky Guerrero on Raw. So, you know, which match will be better? I mean, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Um, I think both matches should be good. Um, I'm interested in seeing how the Ryback and Punk match end. Seeing if Ryback actually loses clean to CM Punk, um, without any interference or whatnot. Um, you know, I'm wondering if WWE will actually do that, but Who knows? Maybe they'll just have this, I don't, I mean, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see if they have like another false finish, but this tables, ladders, and chairs match is it. So it appears. Whoever wins there walks out WWE champion. Will face The Rock at the Royal Rumble, as it stands right now. So this is, I mean, this is slowly, going to become more and more interesting. Um, Even though CM Punk is more likely to retain and face The Rock, um, you know, this is coming up like fast, like Christmas break, or the end of 2012. I mean, it's between Raw 1000 and now, things are really going fast, and within the matter of weeks, The Rock will be back, and he will be in another big match. So it appears most likely with CM Punk, but you never know. Uh, it just makes it interesting because you wonder if Ryback will actually lose clean. What's more likely, him to lose clean without any interference, or CM Punk to retain? Um, I'm sorry, Ryback to take the championship. I mean, it's interesting, and Cena's out of the picture now, which is good, I think, for Ryback and CM Punk. It's good to move in that direction, to have a new guy challenging for the title alone without, even, without Cena really being injured, with Cena having something else on his plate for a change on a pay-per-view that won't involve the main event. Um, for once, Cena will not be in a pay-per-view main event, even though he'll be in a match on the pay-per-view. Um, with kind of the exception of SummerSlam, when Brock Lesnar took on Triple H, that was more the main event. You know, they've had Cena in pretty much every other main event possible where they, for him. So, um, finally, it seems like they're moving in a new direction, pushing Ryback, and it's interesting how now Ryback, when in the triple threat match, Ryback was the last one to come out, where normally Cena would be the last one to come out. They're having Ryback come out after CM Punk when they have a match together. That happened at the house show I was at last month. That happened at Hell in a Cell. They're starting to treat Ryback. They're behind. WWE is really trying to push him. Um, Even though he probably won't walk out WWE champion, it's still interesting to see how WWE is like kind of finally pushing someone in the WWE championship picture other than Cena, it appears, and in the main event picture of Raw. So that's good. Um, and again, I mean, Big Show, the veteran, and Sheamus, they're going to have another, brutal match, different one, which I think prolongs this feud well. Two great, main events here I think we're going to see at the pay-per-view that I'm looking forward to. And at least WWE, I think, is doing a decent job of building, of working with the the world championships right now, um, of WWE. I think at least they're doing good with that. It's below there, which I think WWE is not doing the best of a job with, as I have been saying. Some would say, as I have been preaching, um, how they've been misusing guys like The Miz, and Wade Barrett, who could, you know, take the ball and run with it if given the chance. And, you know, there's others too. I mean, Orton, it doesn't seem like they have too much for him right now. And, you know, it's a shame, really, because WWE they have chances to move this talent up, but they're not they're not taking advantage, or at least taking these chances that they should be taking. Um, Whether or not they do that, I mean, I don't see it next week. I don't see them, you know, doing something logical next week with any of these guys, um, any of these mid carders that could potentially move up in the world and be a you know, a megastar perhaps. I'm not expecting to see that next week, maybe not even next month, but um, we will continue to, you know, here on TW Wrestling Talk to cover what they're doing, and follow, you know, week by week what they're doing. You know, simply put, hopefully they, you know, they start moving in the right direction with some of this new talent. But again, we'll just, as I always say, we'll have to wait and see. So that'll wrap things up with this edition of TW Wrestling Talk, this the 6th-month anniversary edition of TW Wrestling Talk. Um, you know, here's to another, you know, another 6 months to come of TW Wrestling Talk. I hope you continue to follow this channel if you are, um, and you know, and if not, if you haven't been following this channel, I encourage subscribing and the support and spreading this, you know, this channel around, to hear some good debate, and discussion on WWE. Um, so that's I thank you for the support, and I, you know, encourage it, especially. All right, so that'll do it. Thanks for watching as always, and stay tuned for next week's editions of TW Wrestling Talk.